Some enemies can cause you quite a distress in the tower, and in this guide we will figure out how to deal with them. What's up guys, it's Kosh. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video, and let's move on straight to the gameplay mechanics. So how does it work? So every time you reach a specific milestone, the chance to spawn stronger enemies will increase. That means that you will get higher amount of those stronger enemies coming at your tower. And early on it might not seem like much, but some of those guys can take you out quite easily. So I know that you guys are mostly curious about Vampire, Scatter, and Ray, and maybe Protector, but let me cover the basic enemies first. They're pretty easy, they won't take much time. So basic enemy is your normal square. It doesn't have any special effects, it just goes at you, and it's pretty easy to kill. It can be destroyed by anything and gets all the effects. Then we get the fast one. This is the yellow fella, and you will slow down. We can see those fast guys trying to get into the... Whoa, what's happening? Trying to get closer to the tower, and they are really good at that. So you will need some decent amount of knockback in order to keep them out. Take a look at this fast fella. He's so much faster than the rest of the enemies, although the orbs are doing a really good job at keeping them away. So yeah, basically they are fast, but they have the same amount of health and attack and everything. They just move like 5 times faster. Fast is supposed to be 2 times faster than the basic enemies. But they are definitely not 2 times faster right now. Now we get the Scatter. This elite bastard is a pain because it's really hard to kill, and once it gets too close, it will start to multiply when it's killed, like splitting in 2 several times. And while you are dealing with that, enemies might overwhelm you, and you will get this situation that we have right here, which isn't really easy to deal with. And if you are in the higher waves where you cannot be killed, those guys can do a lot of damage to you and can actually end your run. Take a look at that. I lost so many extra health here. So there we go, Scatter on the high speed. Let's take a look what will happen. So we will be overpowered here. Bam, you get 2 of them, then you get 4, 5, and there you are getting crowded here. Luckily, you might get out of that, or it might end your run, depends on how strong you are. And those guys are the most annoying thing for me currently. And honestly, right now, what I can recommend to the newer players how to deal with the Scatterers is to increase your damage. Honestly, that's the only way, or go for higher effective health, basically, so you can outlive their waves of sorts. But yeah, the rule of thumb for every enemy is to get higher health and higher damage, effective damage and effective health, basically. If you can get lucky with the perks, you can boost that up quite a lot, and you can use target priority. Later on, you will be able to kind of prioritize the enemies. That will allow you to properly figure out who to attack and when. And earlier than that, you can just select the elites if you want to focus on them. If the race, vampires or scatterers are the issue, that might help a bit. And we will also have lightning lab for scatterers later on that will allow you to take them out. I tried to research the topic, but honestly, I have issues with the scatterers right now, because at least at this stage, the rest of the enemies can be taken out quite easily. The vampires can be taken out by the garlic thorns at this point. The rays are just overpowered by my mighty damage, and scatterers don't care. They come too close, they split up, and they overwhelm you, and then everybody comes. And if it kind of goes together with the vampire, that might cause some trouble because you won't be able to regenerate. Then we have the tank. The tank have higher amount of health and slower speed and higher mass. That means the tanks are harder to knock back. Those guys are big. Let me find one. There we go. That's the tank, the big guys. But they can be easily taken out by orbs, so they don't... they're not that much of a threat to you anyway. The most dangerous of the common enemies is ranged. Those guys, they can shoot you from afar, and I'm not sure about their range. I found the formula on Reddit. Basically, it's 30 meters and increase for 0.75 meters for every 1 meter of player's tower range increases. So basically those guys have to be a bit inside of your tower range to shoot at you, and they will shoot with a great power. Well, actually the normal attack, but it can be enough to take you out. In order to counter them, you will need the range upgrades in the attack in the workshop only, or in the game. Don't get them in the lab. That will be enough to keep them at bay Also, you might want to get a special research that's called light speed shots. That will allow your bullets to travel way faster, and that will take out the enemies before they get too close to you. So that will help you out with those guys. But other than that, they will take damage from the thorns as well when they shoot at you, so that will help. And having higher damage, or, well, try to knock them back into the orbs, both of those things might help you out to take them out. Next one is boss, and boss, well, it's not that complicated. It just gets too close to you. It's not being affected by the orbs. It's not being affected by your death ray card, this one, and any other special effects that you have. It will just come close to you, step on the mines, get some damage from the stuff, and start hitting you. So when you fight in the boss, you would like to be able to have enough health, effective health, to take 3 of its hits. So if the boss has 50 million damage, it would be nice to have, depending on your defense and absolute defense and all that, well, basically, it would be nice to have a bit higher amount of health than that. So I would say something like 150 million health will be good to make sure that you can defeat the boss. Because, you know, boss can get to you, you will shoot the boss, and the ranged enemies might hit you, so it will be 4 hits, but you have the life drain, so it's a bit more complicated than that. Next one is Protector. The chance to spawn them right now is 0, so we can surely take a look at him right now. But basically those guys protect all the enemies around it in its range, which is here, Protector radius. It has some formula as well, I guess. And those enemies, they are not being killed by the orbs, so when the orb passes through them, they don't take damage. Or maybe they do, but they are not being one-shot, I'm not sure. But I've seen them doing weird stuff with that. And moreover, it adds damage reduction, so it's 60% less damage for the enemies in its green aura. So let's get back to speed, and actually when you change the speed, the gameplay changes a bit. You can, whoa, you can be swarmed by the enemies really, really fast. There we go. I want to take a look at that one. That's the Ray enemy, I think, right? Ray. This is the ranged fella that will stay at the very edge of your range and will charge up its attack. And the only way to take him out, because as elite he doesn't take damage from the orbs, is to take him out with your normal attacks and maybe landmines, but basically with your projectiles mostly. So you would like to have high enough damage, critical, super critical, and all the damage and stats to take him out more efficiently. Moreover, damage per meter will help a lot over here since he is at the very high range, so that will multiply your damage quite a lot. But basically, if you have issues with those guys, you might equip some of the damaging card, like damage or critical chance, in order to amplify your damage a bit. So yeah, it will charge up just like that, and when it's charged, it will emit a ray towards you like that, and it has pretty decent attack. It's double the attack of all other enemies. So if you are running a really tight build where you don't have that much of the HP, that might make you suffer. Oh, we have the vampire here. So the vampire is an annoying little fella, and you will have major issues with this guy early into the game because it drains your life, and while it drains your life, it doesn't really regenerate. And all the enemies that hit you, they will do damage, and this fella is harder to be killed. Someone at the slower speed, he is not being knocked back, or maybe it's because of the high wave, but at the lower wave, your knockback might be problematic for this guy, because it will, let's go to the higher speed I want to show you. It will stay at range and won't get too close to your tower to be taken out by thorns, and normal thorns don't work for him. So there are two things what you can do about the vampire. First one, just as with Ray, improve your damage to take it out faster. Second thing, go to your research, and when you will unlock them, do garlic thorns. Personally, I feel like 3% is good enough already, but I want to get it, I don't know, to 4-5% just to see how different it will be, but it will help drastically to take those guys out, to keep them at bay and prevent from taking out your tower. Because before I got those garlic thorns, oh man, every time I was doing the long run, I was killed by the vampire. Now I'm being killed by the scatter and all those enemies around me. If you get lucky with the perks, you can get several of those perk wave requirements, and that will allow you to get a lot of coins of perks, of course. Those are really good. No, we don't want that extra set of... Shit, I misclicked somewhere. But yeah, you gotta pick them wisely in order to boost your progress, and some of those will allow you to prolong your suffering a bit longer. Let's see if we get anything good here. Enemies, health, no. Free coin upgrade. Yeah. I hope I didn't get anything bad accidentally. Nah, but our defense is now 71%. That will make our life so much easier. But this is like general advice for your progression. It's not about countering specific enemies. If you will get higher defense percentage, if you will get perks, waves reduction, it will just make your life easier altogether. And yeah, guys, if you want to read more on the enemies, you can always go to Game Vault guide on the enemies, and also you can check out the encyclopedia in the game to get some basic info. I will add to the guide more tips as I uncover them by taking out specific enemies, and if you have some tips, you can share them down with me down below in the comments. That will help the viewers to kind of read through the comments and get better at the game. So yeah, let's summon up. Basic enemies don't care. Fast enemies, try to keep them at bay with a higher attack speed or something. Tank, they can be destroyed by the orbs. For us, at least later in the game, you'll get different build. Ranged, get higher range, get light speed projectiles to take them out and throw them into the orbs as well. Boss, get more health for yourself. Protector, you can't really do anything about that. Endure, and they will be defeated over time. Get higher damage to take them out faster. Vampires, garlic thorns will be the key, or lowering your knockback so they can come closer and hit your tower directly and die from the normal thorns. For the ray, you need higher range damage, that will help, and for the scatter, be strong, get a lot of HP damage and everything to take them out. But honestly, they are pain in the ass and very powerful. But yeah, as long as you do the right research in your lab, as long as you progress your build properly, you will be able to progress the waves quite fast. And yeah, don't forget that the right perks will help you out as well. Getting as high defense percentage as possible will be your main priority. Then nobody will be able to break through other than the vampires because they have the percentage damage. By the way, guys, I decided to add a little part to this video later after I finished it about the coins per enemy. It's important. It doesn't matter that much because you can't really control it, but each enemy costs different amount of coins as a base value. Basic is 1, fast is 2, tank is 4, ranged is 2, boss is 5, protector is 3 coins, vampire is 4 coins, ray 4 coins, and scatter worth 4 coins. And I think scattered enemies worth the same amount of coins. Moreover, elite enemies, they drop you those elite cells that you can use to speed up your research, and they drop random amount. It's from 1 to the tier that you are running right now. So if you are running tier 7, it will be 1 to 7 elite cells, and that will help you to speed up your lab considerably. That's why you don't want to farm tier 1 always. Also for the coins, of course. But yeah, if you have extra tips, share them down below in the comments, and also check out the tower playlist and the guides on the Game Vault. The links will be down below in the video description and the pinned comment. And thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. It's been Kosh. Have a good one. Bye.